What up, bitch? Welcome to the motherfucking Halloween special episode of that motherfucking BST. Yeah. I know y'all see all that fucking hair all over my goddamn costume, fool. Anyway, you can see my eyes in here. It's a human beneath this fox mask. But I ain't gonna take it off for a sec, even though that bitch is hot as fuck. But anyway, this motherfucking Halloween episode ain't gonna have nothing to do with Halloween. It's that Halloween special that's about some other shit. And if you're looking at my tie, don't be criticizing that shit, fool, because I didn't tie it. No, I can't tie a tie. If I was to try it, it would have been garbanzo beans. Yeah, but it ain't tied all that good. But anyway, looking fresh, looking as dapper as possible with them motherfucking khakis on, that goddamn black shirt, that red tie, that fox head. Anyway, let's get a good look at this shit right here. Da 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 da. But anyway, bitches and bitch ass, it's time to get this punk ass fox mask up off my head. Revealing the beauty that is me. Got a bunch of fucking fox hairs up in my mouth. Look at it all over my fucking face, dude. Give me a second while I wipe this shit off. And also notice that my hair is looking dope as a bitch. The fox is done. Finito. It's over. That's the only time today for Halloween that I'm gonna wear that fox mask. Though it is pretty dope with that jaw action. I know y'all saw that. Anyway, that's about the extent of my holiday spirit on Halloweeny. Nah, I ain't gonna wear that shit to work, showing up at people's doors, fucking ringing that doorbell, knocking on that motherfucker, they answer it, fox. Nah, nobody wants to see that. I tried to find me an anime wig to put on my head, but I waited till Halloween Day to do such. And, obviously, no wigs left, pissing me off. And I know, y'all see that my face is turning... Got some fucking hair on the screen. I know y'all see that my face is turning redder than typically it is. It's because this tie is ultra fucking tight on my goddamn neck, dude. Cutting off circulation to the jugular vein. God, I can't get this fucking hair out of my beard, dude. God, fucking bullshit. Anyway, that's enough. It's time for that motherfucking story. And I know you've been waiting on it, bitch. So here it is. I still got punk ass cheap fucking Halloween fur all up in my eyeballs, all up in my nose, all in my ear holes, fool, all over my fucking dapper shirt, and it's pissing me off. But I'm gonna do my best to make it through this fucking story today. So sit tight, grab your nuts, cause if you don't, they might get blown off by this shit right here. Aight, fool. Little while back, we talking about 10 years, about a decade prior to where we are now in time. I and my homie Nerd Wayne decided that we were going to attempt the 72-ounce steak challenge in motherfucking Amarillo, Texas at the Big Texan. It's a staple of the state of Texas. Here in the Lone Star State, we try to slam fucking 72-ounce steaks that are about that fucking thick. Yeah, we try to do that. If you can complete the 72 ounces, then the shit is free. If you cannot complete the 72 ounces, you pay $72 fucking dollars for that steak, dollar an ounce. Yeah, pretty harsh. You better not try that shit unless you got $70 in your pocket, because chances are you ain't finishing it unless you're a god. I have seen my brother attempt the steak eating. Apparently you gotta eat sides too, and he said them shits was dry, no salt, and hard to put down. They make this shit hard on fools, dude. They make their goddamn money off them 72-ounce steaks, fucking fur. Anyway, I seen my brother attempt that shit one time. They took my brother to a chair up in the middle of the fucking giant dining room. There was another chair as well where another young gentleman was attempting the 72-ounce steak challenge. It was basically like a fucking eat-off between the two of them. I think you have 1 hour to complete that shit, and you got a digital clock next to each table that counts down your time remaining. As it elapses and you feel your fucking gullet in your stomach with all that steak, you have to make it through. You have to have that attrition to fucking do the damn thing. My brother was poised and ready for his attempt. But the only problem was this fool had broken his arm playing foosball. So that fool had a cast from his wrist up past his elbow onto his arm. He had fucked his shit up bad. So you can imagine cutting up 72 ounces worth of steak is a difficult feat when your arm is immobilized. Yeah, it was difficult, but this fool was like, I'ma complete it. That fool can put down some food. I was sitting out in the crowd, looking over to where my brother was attempting his eating. And I was like, T-Spear, he's our man. If he can't do it, then no one can. Nah, I wasn't cheering or nothing, but deep in my heart, I was like, my brother's about to fuck this shit up. He about to get a free steak and a full belly for the next 3.5 years of his life. I was like, this fool's dump is gonna be the worst dump of his life, I'm sure. But he was poised and he was ready and he began to eat. But quickly noticed that it was impossible to saw through this fucking steak, this fucking 3-inch thick steak with a fucking immobilized arm. So he asked for some help from the referees. I was over at my table with my madre. I was trying rattlesnake for the first time, boo. Shit tasted like chicken. Most shit does taste like chicken anyway. I was eating rattlesnake looking up there. The referees were talking about, I don't know if we're allowed to do that. I was thinking bullshit with your punk ass. You better help my brother out before I come up there and jack slap you across your chin, punk. So they helped him out. And all of a sudden, this punk-ass motherfucker, my brother's competition sitting to his left, was like, I don't know if you're allowed to do that. That's not fair. I fucking fired a beer bottle at that punk motherfucker's head. Busted his head open. Fool needed stitches bad. That's a little bit of psychosis right there. I didn't fire no beer bottle, but I really wanted to. This punk motherfucker was trying to interfere with my brother's eating. Yeah, I don't play that. Anyway, my brother went through the fucking attempt, eating bite after bite after bite, and didn't come out victorious. That shit is difficult, apparently. He came real close, but he did not complete it. Probably because them mashed potatoes were fucking lumpy and disgusting. Seeing this at a young age, I was like, damn, I gotta attempt that someday. So years later, me and Nerd Wayne loaded up in a white Chevy work truck. And guess what? This motherfucking shit had no driver's side window. Just a trash bag like you often see on meth fiends' fucking vehicles. We set out in the dead of night in that motherfucker trying to make Amarillo by morning. It was fucking gnarly, fool, trying to listen to as I lay dying, shredding and going hard. Meanwhile, the fucking trash bag fucking battering and fucking making a huge ruckus, pissing us off, dude. Couldn't hear no music. Couldn't hear a conversation with Nerd Wayne the whole way there because of that fucking loud ass bullshit, dude. And it was freezing in that bitch because it was winter. It's about 9.87 hours to get from fucking Jacksboro, Texas to Amarillo. Psych, it's not that far, but it is still pretty goddamn far. We knew that the Big Texan was not going to be open when we got there. So we stopped in some kind of fucking town called Childress or some kind of town out in West Texas. And we found the cheapest fucking motel ever. We were hoping, for some dumbass reason, to stay in the cheapest hotel possible because there was gonna be probably meth needles in the carpet and shit, and we would be able to say we stayed in the world's worst hotel ever. I don't know why. Probably because it was only like $15.99 a night. Anyway, it was called the It'll Do Motel. Maybe some of you Texans on this motherfucker have heard of it. Well, if you have, you probably know that there's heroin needles all over that bitch. Psych once again. We didn't find no needles in that bitch, but trust me, it was hard to catch a wink of sleep in that bitch knowing all of the fucking drug shit that had gone down in them rooms. But it was $15.99 a night, and we were cheap. We had only brought like $200 with us, knowing we were probably about to pay $144 if my math's correct. Carry the 2. Yeah, we knew we were about to pay a fuck bunch for this stay because we weren't going to be able to complete it. So we didn't have much extra cash dinero, fool. Nah, so we stayed in a cheap hotel. Next morning, headed out for Big Texan. We hadn't eaten in a fortnight. We were trying to starve ourselves, to fast before we attempted this shit. So we rolled up in Big Texan parking lot right as them bitches was opening the doors. We looked at one another, wondering if we were ever gonna be able to do this shit. And we quickly decided, nah, this would be the most colossal waste of fucking money we could ever fucking make. So we said, fuck a bunch of 72-ounce steaks and lumpy sides. We ain't gonna do it. We gonna use our money on cooler shit. So we left that bitch without walking in, without attempting it. The whole goddamn trip, 9.87 hours all the way to Amarillo, wasted. Psych wasn't wasted, because when the two of us got together, we was always coming up with devious shit that we could do. So, over in Amarillo, somewhere close to that motherfucker, is the Paladuro Canyon. Second largest canyon in the U.S., if I'm not mistaken. We was like, dude, let's go to Paladuro, fool, and camp out deep in that crevice. But first, we needed what any young, dirty, single SOB needs, which is bitches. We needed some chicas, some girls, some ladies, some trim, some snatch. We needed some girls, or else it was gonna be a sausage fest, and me and him would be just camping together. Like, no, we didn't want to do that. So the first place we went was Long John Silver's. Rolled up in the Long John Silver's through the drive-thru, 30 case of Keystone in the floorboard of that bitch. We was getting some food. Most of y'all know that Long John Silver sucks fat balls. But we, I don't know, couldn't find nowhere else to eat. So we paid about $16.65 for some Long John Silvers, as opposed to $144 at Big Texan. When we rolled up to that window, we saw some. We saw a mamacita in that drive-thru window with the headset and shit. A diamond in the rough at the LJS. Yeah, she was up in there, so we hollered. We fucking catcalled and did all that nasty, stupid shit that you ain't supposed to do, especially not in today's society. Didn't give a fuck, son. Never have, never will. Rolled up to that window talking about, hey girl, you wanna roll with us to Paladuro? She said no real fucking quick. So the hopes of some snatch were dashed. It wasn't gonna happen. We were pretty big losers. So, didn't work out. We were like, man, fuck it. Let's roll down to this Paladuro, dude. Let's go buy a tent and the things we gonna need and just camp out and have us a little sausage fest and drink beer. We got the tent. We got snacks. We got more brewskis. And we rolled. And we drove and drove and drove deep down into this crevice. We found possibly the worst campsite in the history of the world. Rocky, sandy, just fucking gritty, nasty, dude. It was garbage. We were deep in the fucking canyon, probably at the very lowest point of elevation, dude. The ground was hard and terrible, dude. It sucked, but we set up that tent, made a fucking fire. My ass cracked the first beer of the night, ready to rock, dude. Fucking popped that bitch open like Stone Cold Steve Austin started slamming that bitch. Wanted to get obliterated. Fire started going out. So what I did is I fucking walked up there to the fire like a true Lothario, like a true G. I was like, allow me, homie. I will get this fire. Took my can of beer, tilted it over, poured some on the flames. Expecting the fire to burst into more flames and to get stoked and go crazy, I stood there as the beer poured on the fucking flames, realizing that nothing was happening. All of a sudden, Nerdwayne fucking turned my direction and started laughing hard. That fool was like, dude, beer is mostly water, you fucking dipshit, dude. You probably need liquor for that shit, not beer. That shit is cringy as fuck. I seen all these threads and shit. People talk about shit they did in their childhood that makes them cringe when they think about it now. I have thousands of cringe moments in my life. I live off of fucking creating cringe out of my mouth, and with the actions that I decide to take, everything's an embarrassment in my life if you look back on my past. But this single moment here where I tried to stoke a fire with beer is probably the cringiest that I can think of. Roughly once every month and a half, I think about how stupid that day was that I did that dumbass shit. I think about it, yeah, still do. Wish I didn't. Wish it would have never happened anyway. Yeah, tried to put beer on a fire. Didn't work. Mostly put out the fire. The rest of the camping trip, don't remember because we proceeded to get shit blasted, wasted, and fucked. Yeah. Next morning, hungover as all get out. We were like, now it's time for the long-ass journey back to J-Boro, Texas. Wasn't looking forward to it, mostly because of that goddamn trash bag in the fucking window that was going to mute all conversation and all music the whole fucking way back, all 9.87 hours. I don't remember it much, but I'm sure that drive back sucked a fat cock. So that, ladies and gents, is the story for Halloween. It ain't got jack fuck to do with Halloween, and I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care, because the true trilogies that love my shit are gonna view it no matter what day of the year I get on this bitch. Not exactly the most thrilling and riveting story I've ever told on these BSTs, but it'll have to do. We gotta move this along, keep pumping out episodes. The stories aren't always gonna be as amazing as the last one. Sometimes they're gonna suck a little bit and not be as entertaining. But I'm here to provide. I'm here to provide and to entertain, because that's what God gave me. The good Lord penetrated my body with these skills, son. These skills that kills. So I'm gonna keep pumping them out. So y'all keep tuning in and loving my shit. Now, the outro. But real quick, gotta get this fucking tie off my neck, fucking suffocating me. Psych, I ain't taking it off, and I'm putting that motherfucking fox head back on so I can sing that outro to you. Until next time.